Talking Podcast. I'm JJ Star.
And I'm Downtown Andy.
The slow version.
Welcome.
You're
not going to get anything speedier out of me. That's for damn sure.
You do look like you're ready to just take a nap.
So do you.
I am.
Hi. Welcome back.
We're here to talk and bring some civil discourse to an otherwise discordant world.
Now that we've got the how are yous out of the way.
Yeah. It was a long way to get here, baby.
It's a long way to the top if you want to keep the bandage out of frame.
But we are here, and we're tired. We had a big time. Thank you to anyone who came out to the New York Blood and Ink Tattoo and Horror Convention this weekend in White Plains, New York. That was a trip.
It was a trip.
And it was a good time. A fruitful and entertaining time it was, had by all.
And you know what it was full of?
Rules.
It
was not.
It sure was. This year was full. Well,
let me tell you something. They had a lot of rules.
Nobody
followed any of the rules.
They didn't even have the metal detectors this year. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm certainly glad that somebody was at the front selling blades.
Yeah, right across from the people selling weed. So,
anyway, we have rules.
Your attendance wristband gets you a discount, and we're delivering every hour.
They tried to sell you like 2 pounds or 2 ounces.
Well, they were 2 ounces, 2 pounds. My God. Yeah, no, they were doing a raffle where you could just simply put your name in, and whoever won got 2 free ounces.
All right, I think we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's hit the rules, and then we'll
rules coming at you. 3 rules for the sake of civility here in the bubble. No judgment, nothing personal, and don't be a dick.
Boy, am I glad I put a hoodie on.
Let me tell you something. We've been out of the house for 3 whole days.
Yeah.
Okay. In that time, regardless of how warm it's gotten, and it has gotten warm over the last few days, we have not been home to open any windows.
Right.
So last night, upon entering the house and finally being at home, settled at home, the bedroom was literally 80 degrees.
It's a good thing we didn't buy any bread before we left.
I was like, I couldn't handle it. Why? You would have kept it in the fridge anyway.
It depends on what kind of bread. But anyway.
But it was just, it was way too scorching for comfort this weekend.
Well, I mean, we didn't know any of that because inside the convention center, they had the AC blasting, which was like,
beautiful.
I mean, you figure if people are going to be tattooing, you probably want that so people aren't like sweating into their tattoos.
Oh, God, yeah. Plus with all of the lamps and everything, like, I mean, everyone had to have been warm.
The shop right next to us with the big ring lamp, like, it was just like last year how they had the red spinny light going all around the arena. Except this time it was directly in my face.
Yes, and across from me, catty corner to us, was the end cap, which had, I want to say, 19 lamps directly in my face.
They even had the the string lights, but around the floor.
Yeah, well,
because that makes a difference. Anyway,
well, I mean, something has to attract the eye when we're all looking at our feet.
I love how we're just all over the place. I mean, we're gonna be hopping around all episode long.
Well, I had a good time. Did you have a good time?
I want to go back to it, believe it or not.
Yeah,
because now we're back to reality, and reality sucks.
Reality bites, man. Well, I wish we could go back to it, but I don't have anything left to sell.
Yes, you do. You have plenty to sell.
I have a few of them. Yeah.
Here's the thing: all the stuff you made in preparation for this year, I guarantee you're going to sell it next year. All of it.
Well, we're not waiting until next year. We're going to have events coming up.
I know, but
before this time next year.
It's funny how you prepared all of those animal decks before last year's convention and sold them all at this year's convention.
This year. Well, then at least I know what my turnaround is.
Let's give a big That Talking Podcast round of applause to Darren and Exodus Tattoo and Holy Trinity Tattoo who came.
It was a beautiful moment. Honestly, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all of the artists that come around and have an appreciation for my work. I mean, I've said it to you countless times. I've said it on the podcast before. When other artists have an appreciation for the work that I create, I feel like I've made it. Well, I feel like I've really made it. Like I'm on par with people.
I don't remember if it was Saturday or Sunday morning, but I had said to you, I go, the fact that your stuff's not just flying off the shelves and things like that must mean that the people who are buying it are buying it because they appreciate it, because they genuinely want it.
Yeah.
Because they want to take it home and they want to hang it up and they want to look at it and be like, this is going to remind me of that convention that I went to where I met that really cool artist who's into this stuff that she's into. And, you know, we connected, we bonded on, you know, like the chick who bought the bat, or, you know, the guy who bought the tarot deck.
You talk about, you know, like wanting to be around like-minded people and everything like that. And it's like, I feel like
I don't get that in the mail truck.
It's hard. It's hard.
What is hard?
It's hard to find people who have the deep appreciation for things, you know? I feel like it's a lot harder than people think it is.
I don't think it's as hard to find them. I think it's just that we don't encounter them as frequently, like, throughout the year. Like, because when these things are announced and planned and put together, it's like, okay, you know that if you're going as a patron or a vendor or whatever, as long as you're in the building, you're gonna be around people that you share something with.
Well, we were talking about that also with regards to, you know, like certain aspects of, you know, the lifestyle and everything like that, you know, like in this situation amongst this crowd of people, shame goes out the window.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, that's just it.
Pride and vanity. It's all
you are really in a situation with people where, like, you know, the idea of like hiding, you know, like
who you are.
Yeah. Hiding your fringe is like, it just goes out the window. It's like, why bother?
This was a convention to commemorate and to promote Fringe, because every time, what's the guy's name who was like the MC of the weekend? Joey got up on the mic to talk about the contests and MC the contest, and everything was just like, you know, even if you don't win a trophy, you should still be proud of your work, because that's all that matters, and fuck everybody else. Like,
well, that's what my brand has been about for over a decade. I mean, the whole point of it is to celebrate, you know, the outcasts, you know, to celebrate being outcasted. Because when enough people are cast out, they just form their own population on the outskirts.
And in doing so, we're not really cast out anymore.
Exactly.
You know?
You become welcome at that point.
Like, because among the patrons, you had tattooed patrons, you had non-tattooed patrons, you had patrons that were into the stuff that was being vended, you had patrons who were just discovering it for the first time.
You had a lot of people there to see the Charmed folks.
You had people there to see the Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah. And that was all a trip.
And
too.
The Mayans.
The same way that it was last year, you know, like just sort of, you know, like encountering
B+ list tier.
Oh no.
Tier list.
I would put them, I would say.
I love some of those.
They're up there.
I love some of those celebrities, but I wouldn't call any of them A-listers.
In their circles?
Okay, maybe
I would definitely put them as A-listers. They're A-list in my book. Because I think they're all great. I think the guys and gals who were there this year.
Listen, I can agree.
Really fine.
I can absolutely agree with that, because, like, you saw how giddy I was last year. You saw how giddy I was this year. Yeah. With my last statement, let me just say that was coming from somebody else's perspective. I can, because like when I go into work this morning, or when I go anywhere else and talk about what we did this weekend, guarantee the first thought in people's mind are just like, oh, you hung out with, you know, whoever, Chris Fine. Oh, okay. He's not Joey Jordison, but whatever. Like, and the thing is, so Chris Fine was there, still a member of Slipknot, and people like Slipknot.
Is that his name?
If I'm pronouncing it right, but yeah, he was one of the percussionists.
Oh, okay.
And, you know,
I know nothing.
Like,
sorry,
I
Chris,
texted Oliver, and I'm like, one of the drummers from Slipknot is here. He's like, oh my god. I'm like, yeah, you should fucking come and hang out with this dude. You know,
he had a whole panel, a whole Slipknot panel.
Thanks to you, I have now been able to engage to you know, kind of be like a little giddy kid and rub elbows with celebrities, people that, you know, I wished I could have met 20 years ago.
I thank the dog for meeting most of those people, because she was like the main attraction, just like she was last year.
Like, we did a whole episode last year, whole episode after we'd come back from last year's.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about hanging out with Bam and all the stuff we talked about and this other thing. Same thing this year. Like, I literally sat on the pavement in the parking lot with him while we played with the dog and talked about everything other than what he does for a living.
I felt bad for him, honestly. I did, because Danny and I were talking while he's sitting on the ground playing with
Casually
the dog.
talking with
Yeah, we're
his
just
wife.
just talking to his wife and everything, and about how going from Florida to South Carolina and everything is that he really is just not doing well with the heat.
Yeah.
And then he comes up here for this weekend and it's 80 fucking degrees, and I'm just like, I get it, and I'm like, I'm not good in the heat either.
I'd like to believe that he doesn't have to do this.
Must be exhausted.
That some part of him actually likes doing this and wants to, but I mean, I can't. It's got to be overwhelming to some degree.
He was there this year for the Grind reunion because it's been 30 years.
But again, it's not like it shouldn't be like he has to. I mean, that dude's made plenty in his life.
Let me tell you, all of these people don't. Yeah. None of these people have to do this. They're all living off residuals at least. Mm-hmm. Okay. I loved the fact that my dog decided that she was going to go find 90210's Christina Leaks. And she was, because I was just like, that's Emily Valentine. Yeah. Emily Valentine. And I was really excited that she was going to be there. And then I was just sort of like, she's just people, I mean, it's cool that she's there, but she's just people to me. And then my dog is like, and it was so funny because this woman just stops dead in her tracks, and she's just like, going after my dog, just petting and scratching. And she went right under that dog's coat, and she's like, I'm getting to second base over here. And I'm like, you bad girl.
I'm standing there talking to Holly Marie Combs because I'm just like, I used to watch you on TV all the time, and I wanted nothing to do with Brian Krause or Drew Fuller.
Yeah, but then, you're standing there, and I love it because I was wondering what you were doing because you're just on the other side
of I said to her, I'm just like, listen, I used to watch you on TV. I really didn't want to be a bother, because there's real, like, bigger fans than me here that probably want to get your autograph and stuff. She's like, but that's what we're here for. And I'm like, and as we're standing there and we're talking about dogs with Sadie there, Theo Rossi walks up just like, and I'm like, oh, you guys know each other? Like, because for all I know, maybe they did something together. Yeah. Who knows, but, And Theo Rossi kept like smiling at us as he walked by and being like, "Hey guys, what's up?" And I'm like, "Oh, good morning."
He was complimenting the work, which made me really excited.
And really Alvarez kept smiling at us too.
David LaBrava.
Oh, he was
just carrying around a teeny tiny dog in his jacket.
He was playing with a vial when I tried to shake his hand. I'm like, "What the fuck is that?"
He was playing with what?
He was playing with like a syringe of some kind, and I'm just like,
maybe it's for the dog.
Maybe. But like his hand, I went to go. He's like, as soon as I'm done with this, I'll shake your hand. And I'm just like, okay.
Well, maybe maybe something with a dog or something like that. But everyone was just so nice and so welcoming and everything. And I felt bad because Mike Vogel was walking around all by himself a lot of the time.
Well, I mean,
he just kept walking back and forth. Him and his fine hair.
He was in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We were. He
was on Guts.
Do you have it?
He was on Nickelodeon Guts, which we found.
Well, hold on, like, because again, we put side by sides next to each other. And we're like, is that him, or is that just some kid named Mike Vogel?
But it was listed in his filmography.
Yeah, but anybody could edit that. That wasn't IMDb. That was.
Let me tell. All right, Mike Vogel, if you're listening right now, give us a call.
I sincerely hope none of them are listening, because if they do, they're going to realize that I called them B-list celebrities.
Yeah, but I said they weren't, so they'll like me.
All right, yeah. There goes my in.
I had a really good time though. I had a good time. It was a lot more. I'm not gonna say it was busier than it was like the last convention that we did, but it felt like more people were excited to be there.
It was definitely a different vibe. I mean, because last year they had things going on all floors.
Yeah.
And it felt like there were more shops last year. But I mean, we were absolutely exhausted at the end of every day.
Yeah.
And sleep deprived, and got up every morning and just pounded down caffeine to
It was pretty, but I mean, that's the life.
And spent way too much money on overpriced chicken and burgers.
But that's
And we had this podcast playing all weekend on the table.
Yes, we did.
And nobody asked me about it.
Nope. Which
is
fine.
So to those of you,
which is fine. We're already worldwide.
So to those of you in Brazil and Indonesia and South Africa and Nepal and West Virginia, who listen to us on the regular,
and everywhere else, because we're in like 44 countries at this point,
and 30 something states.
36, I believe now.
I can't wait till 37. 37.
But I'm really excited now. I was really excited today to not. I was like, I don't want to wake up. I'm really excited to not wake up today. I mean, I wanted to wake up eventually, but I was really glad to be able to take a load off, because waking up yesterday morning and being like, I can't believe I have to get in the car again.
I purposely left my side of the blinds down when I left, because I'm just like, let her sleep.
I was just like, I
sleep.
can't believe like Sunday was a hard day for me. It's been a while it's been a year since I've really done.
Not even. It was
major.
11. The last one was 11 months ago.
But it's, since I've done like a major deal and everything, and I was just like, I was shot. I was hella shot. But Sunday was fun day.
Like when that green-haired girl bought the bat deck, I'm really just like,
I'm like, yay.
Okay, we sold at least one high-end piece.
Yeah.
And then, we can leave with our heads held high, even if we sell nothing else. Like something that you put a lot of work and effort into goes home with someone who's going to appreciate it. That was what, Friday?
That was Friday. Yep.
Saturday, did we sell any decks Saturday? Or
one of the vinyl ones, yeah.
That's right. Okay. But then Sunday, before we even
opened, we sold 7 of them.
Yeah.
That was fun. That was fun. And I'm glad that they were like, keep them up for the rest of the day. And I'm like, cool, because I'm like, I have nothing to display.
Well, no, you said we brought 18.
We did bring 18, and we sold 9. We sold 9. Among other things.
I still think if we do that again next year, when they sell, we take them down, and then that way it looks to people like, hey, this is in high demand, got to get it before I can't get. Because here's the thing, we were selling those decks ranging from 60 up to 140. Bam was selling his for 300, but that's Bam. The other table that was selling the printed ones, they were selling theirs for what, 60, 65?
60.
So
that's what you told me. I didn't bother to go look.
I can't remember. I'm pretty sure, but they had those were full print, like Mortal Kombat and like other characters or whatever. But
it's pop culture. It's digitally created and it's vinyl printed. I'm like, my stuff is hand painted.
That's what I think drew people in. Not only that, but out of the because I took plenty of walks this weekend and I scoped out their tables a lot.
Yeah.
And when I looked at that table, the one that was selling the printed ones, they had I want to say 5 or 6 laid out across one table most of the weekend. And by Sunday night when we left, there was still, I think, 3 or 4 of them still sitting there. Meanwhile, you sold 9.
Yes.
And every time I walked past, now Bam was gone. Bam was gone way early Sunday, but all his stuff was still at the table. There were a lot of decks sitting there.
Well, I'm sure that they brought a lot also. Yeah.
So, at least in my mind, it's like, I think we did the best as far as selling skate decks. Not to mention the fact
cool
you sold a ton of tech decks. That was a new one for this year.
I sold a lot of fingerboards. I sold a lot of those little paintings.
We ran out of the extra large hoodies. Extra large hoodies are gone.
Yay!
People were inquiring about the monster prints, which, I told the guy, I'm like, there are canvas versions of these. They're just not here.
Not all of them.
What else? This was the first year that I didn't walk around handing out free stickers and free business cards and posing with the decks, be like, look what you can come get at this table, because I don't feel it
But I gotta get now is the time when I really have to sort of now. So I stopped
You have a commission to get.
I have a large commission. I have 2 commissions, one okay and one very large, that I really have to get in gear for. So coming off of this weekend, my thing was, I'm so glad I finally get to be able to relax. And it's like, no, I don't. I have to crack into this immediately.
But isn't this what you've wanted this entire time?
Absolutely.
You want your work to be in demand?
Yes, absolutely it is.
By people who will appreciate it?
Yes. I'm not suggesting that I'm unhappy in any way, but
you better invest in an auto pen.
It's tough. It's tough.
On your little fingers.
I mean, that's just it. Is it sort of like, it's like coming back from, it's like getting homework on the first day of school is what it feels like. It's just sort of like, oh man, but I'm really excited. I've got wheels turning and everything. So I'm really excited about that.
The wheels of creativity.
Now, I'm not going to, I want to talk about one thing that did happen this weekend, that,
Well, let's go to a commercial break so I can turn the air off.
It's why do you have to... Anyway, now that I have completely forgotten what I was going to talk about.
Back the first day of school, homework.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Oh, I remember.
Jeez, don't sound so excited.
I'm looking at you.
Oh, something that happened this weekend.
I'm looking at you, my friend. Something happened this weekend that I want to talk about in relation to being a part of a creative community. You're a part of it. You're a part of one because you're a musician. So you are a part of, a creative community and everything.
I'm a bass player. Nobody listens to this.
It doesn't matter. You're still a musician. You still play live music.
Yeah,
you write music. You promote music and things of that nature. Okay. Now, I am not going to name names at all because I'm not here to shame anyone in specific.
Just me.
No, not you.
Do you?
You and I were approached by a person who was representing another artist who was selling artwork this weekend.
Oh.
And this person really, I'm not going to say was, I'm going to say was insistent on sort of telling their story.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder if they went to anybody else with this story.
I'm sure they did.
I like to hope so because the whole thing felt very uncomfortable for me because they were talking about how, young artists and everything don't necessarily get, the same breaks and everything, and talking about the number of followers they have on Instagram and how they are the main draw at shows and they're the main event and everything, and then talking about how other people are gatekeeping and keeping them down and everything. And I just I had to walk away.
I know.
Because I really felt not attacked, but I felt very uncomfortable. Like, excuse me, but I'm an artist.
Yeah.
I have not had shit handed to me. I've worked hard on my work in and of itself. But then to try and make a name for myself doing this and everything, I've been doing this for 13 fucking years. Like, nothing is being handed to me. And talking about, well, we have 100,000 followers on Instagram, maybe if we finally hit 1 million, Comic-Con will give us some free booth space. And I'm just like, so fucking pay for it.
Can I interrupt?
Yeah, go ahead.
So it was really easy for me to be dismissive of that guy because in my estimation, his behavior was largely based on his character. That's just how that person is.
Yeah, that's the type of person that I don't like.
Yeah, he's trying to network, but in a very ineffective manner. He's promoting somebody to the best of his ability,
which was also ineffective.
But he's not exactly an old hand at this. Like, this is he's trying to do the right thing by somebody else. Okay, and he was just shooting the shit because the show hadn't opened up yet. I'm not defending him or anything, which is why we didn't, because he tried to call me over at one point to the table, and I'm like, just once, because I didn't feel like talking to him again.
Yeah,
I have to respect what he's trying to do because, again, it's not really for. I'm like, he's not the artist in question, but he's representing the one who is. But again, it's like, we don't have to engage. We don't have to promote we don't have to share contacts or anything like that. Like, good for you. You've got more followers than us and you're doing your thing. And
it really rubbed me the wrong way because he was talking so much about, how his, their artwork doesn't get nearly the recognition that it deserves.
Neither does yours.
I'm like, yeah, neither does mine.
Yeah, but but I'm
not going around being like, my stuff is better than yours. I deserve this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, what, who does that?
But some people are like that.
But I've never encountered anyone at these shows. We're talking world-renowned artists in their field. Top of the list, real A-list people in their field. And their egos are not nearly as big as this. And I'm just like, it felt so discrediting, because it was like, first of all, the reason he came over, the first thing that he did was ask, how do I do this? What is my supply chain?
Oh, how do you do it?
How do I do it? What products do I use? What shops do I contact?
Yeah, he's
and
trying
stuff
to
like
probe
that.
you for information.
And I'm just like, what are you gonna do? You want an instruction manual so you can rip me off?
Yeah, but if he ripped you off, what would you do?
I wouldn't do anything. I don't own the trademark to acrylic on wood. Like, I don't own that, and I wouldn't care about that.
Listen, I mean,
but like, the fact that he then used that to leapfrog into saying, the artist I'm representing is world famous on social media, but nonetheless still getting the same amount of interactions on social media that I do.
Listen, let's just be blunt. It was a
no.
Okay.
No. Because I'm not gonna shoot down someone for doing creative work.
Well, I'm not shooting him, this promoter down. It's just that, like, that's I mean, again, I'm not defending him, but he was trying to do right by somebody else. Yeah. And, I'm sure that eventually when he realizes that his methods are not suiting their needs, then he'll probably change. But, then again, that could just be who he is. And again, we don't have to exchange info. We don't have to promote. We don't have to say who they're like. That's just how I've encountered so many people like that who think that their shit doesn't stink in the music world.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't pay attention to a lot of bands that I play with, because it's just like, I'm sorry, but if you're not doing like some people,
we're all playing the bars, dude.
Some people have associated me with that ilk, that thinking that like I think my shit doesn't stink because I don't watch a lot of bands I play with, because my take is, if you're not doing something that catches my attention or impresses me, or doing something that I myself can't, like, I love to see people that can do things that I can't do. It's inspiring. It's motivating. It makes me want to strive for something more. But when I just see somebody go up there and not be musical, It's like, well, then what? Like, what am I doing here? So again, I've been likened to that guy in that sense.
I've never seen any of those personality traits in you. I've never seen them. Maybe they're buried deep down and you show them to other people, but I've never seen them.
I mean, we always say we shouldn't judge people, we shouldn't, but we all judge to some degree. I mean, this whole weekend was kind of an exercise in judging.
Yeah, but for the most part, you're not walking around saying I'm better than
like
that.
the tattoo contests were purely subjective.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So
that's how it works.
I feel bad that this guy bothered you that much, but again, we don't ever have to interact with them again.
But that's just it. Is that it makes me that much more grateful to people, like to especially other artists who are so receptive to my work, because I am the complete opposite of ego when it comes to
absolutely. I can attest to that.
Do my work.
I was kind of hoping you would pull me and be like, "Hey, babe, we got to go do this, that, or the other thing," because I got tired of listening to the guy. But
I thought that would be rude.
That is how I am personally, because I will sit there and I will let people talk ad nauseum about themselves or anything, and I will refrain from interrupting or cutting off the conversation, because I feel that would be so. I don't want to be rude, and I like letting people, say what because again, like if the roles were reversed, I would want somebody to hear me. Like me sitting in a parking lot with Bam. Bam doesn't give a shit about me. I'm just another fan to him, but I would love for him to give a shit about the things I know I want to say to him. So again, if the shoe was on the other foot, like I would want it that way. But I figure, okay, let this guy hype up his artist, and eventually the conversation will steer itself. And again, once he was gone, it's like, okay, well, now we're on to whoever walks by next.
When people as a part of a creative community are so hell bent on self-promotion, like, again, I've seen people who's like, their PR is all about, like, promoting this, but like you see these people in real life and they're just like, I'm here to work. I don't really interact with a lot of people. I'm focused on the work. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for, enjoying what I do and everything. But never have I really been around, I'm not going to say never. Very rarely have I been around artists who are so egotistical. There's no other word for it because it's ego.
It was just him, right? I mean, it wasn't really anybody else.
No, that's what I'm saying. And I mean, you're talking about, we're walking around hanging out with millionaires and everything who are just sort of like, can I pet your dog? Like, it's like, thank you for being a human.
You know, I've heard so many famous people and so many.
That guy didn't even compliment my work.
I don't remember if he did or not. Again, I was waiting for him to walk away.
Like, didn't even have the decency to say, "You create really nice work here. Can I ask you a few questions?"
He is of a particular ilk.
The kind that needs to be punched in the face.
I mean, he didn't say anything to us that was rude. Like, he didn't, criticize your work. He's some people are just like that. They want all the attention on them, so they carry themselves a certain way.
I interrupted you.
So I've heard a lot of famous people, a lot of podcasters and things like that talk about, like, you shouldn't do anything in the art world for the money. You should do it for the love, for the love of the art, the love of the process, the love of the connections you make with other people.
Money is a fine bonus, but I don't think any of us got into it for the money.
I mean, it would be nice. I mean,
even Picasso only got into it to get laid.
To be compensated for your time, your effort, your supplies, your passion.
Mm-hmm. Well, that guy asked me, he's just like, why would you price these so cheap? And I'm like, parts and labor.
And the thing is, I really want us, especially at this point in our lives, to be able to reap those sorts of benefits. It's like, we know what we're worth because we know how much time we put into our crafts. At the same time, I am totally, at this point in my life, totally okay leaving these things, whether it be a convention, a gig, whatever, in the red, because I've spent so much more money than I'm ever going to make back on gas to get to gigs, on equipment, on promotion, on recordings. It's just, that's just it. And I've told you a million times, I've probably said it on this podcast, like, I am totally content with the accomplishments I've accumulated in music. Like, I've toured, I've traveled, I've played in different states to varying crowds from 1 to 1,000. Like, with what I've done, like, it can only get better from here. That's my take. It can only get better because I've done all the things I set out to do. My only goal from here on in is to just do more of them.
Yeah. I mean, that's just it. Like, we're starting next year. We're going to start doing a few more shows. And really sort of push the envelope a little bit. And I have been, I've been doing the tattoo shows for 10 years now. And with a little hiatus thanks to COVID, but nonetheless, and I've never really pushed the bounds. Like, I've never really thrown my hat into the ring of the bigger shows and everything, because the expense of it, like, I know
that's the biggest deterrent.
It's the biggest deterrent
because you don't know if you're even going to break even.
Exactly. And when it's a smaller show where I know it's just fun and games, like we said, money is just a bonus.
Do you think, though, if you went for a bigger show with a bigger entry fee, do you think that would propel, if you took that shot, okay, if you said, fuck it, I'm going to spend $1,000 on this booth for a 3-day week, just hypothetically speaking, I'm going to spend $1,000 on this booth for a 3-day weekend, do you think that would propel you to kind of carnival barker it a little bit more? Like,
yeah, maybe.
Get up there, like, come one, come all, like, see what we have here on
the possibility exists.
Because as an observer, okay, because until we did the New England Tattoo Expo 2 years ago, I'd never been to one of these things. And so I still feel like an outsider looking in. Okay, I know I'm supposed to be one of the crowd, given my appearance and all. but I still feel largely like an observer. And I'm watching the vendors and I'm watching the entertainers and all these things going on and thinking to myself, you are all really like piss poor salesmen. Like
Yeah.
why is you're trying to get people to not only buy your artwork and what you're selling and whatever it is you have, there.
Yeah.
You're trying to get people to buy into the idea of you. The idea of the concept of what you've created, what you've presented here at this booth, at this convention. And it just didn't really seem like a lot of people, like we tried, like, again, I ran around the convention center last year and the year before being like, come to the Love Hard booth. Like, you can get this deal and this and that, and that. We have this and that and the other thing, because I'm trying to hype people up on the idea of you. So that way people are like, well, I like that kind of stuff too. I want to go meet that person and talk to them about, girls in bikinis and universal monsters and skateboards.
I think that from my perspective, when it comes to stuff like that, I'm on both sides of it, because I don't want to be cruising the tables and everything and have everyone yelling at me about, like, what you really should be looking at. Look over here.
But that's just
like,
it.
It's like, no.
Almost nobody was.
I'm over here but that's just it, is that since I don't want that being done to me, I in turn don't do it to other people. When
Fair.
I see people looking at my stuff, I engage them.
Yeah.
I let them know what I have. I try and spark up a conversation. I can judge when people, want to know more.
But having said that, what do you do to stand out? Like what more do you do to stand out? Or is standing out even the goal?
I don't think standing out is the goal. That's just it. Because when it comes to art, when someone sees something they like, they know they like it.
Yeah.
I don't need, this is not, what can I do to get you into this painting today? It's not one of those situations for me. I appreciate having someone like you who's willing to bark for me, but like I'm not trying to push people to buy my stuff. I want people to want my stuff. And the people who do buy my stuff see it and they're like, I want
But
this.
In the same vein as feeling an uneasiness to invest in a table, because these tables aren't cheap, there's I'm sure a lot of people, despite being fans of original hand-done craft work, are like, that's a big investment. Like, is this going to give me the years of satisfaction, of personal satisfaction, that I hope it will?
Listen, again, I've been doing this for 10 years now. I've been doing these shows for 10 years now. And I would say that this year is one of the biggest returns on my investment that I've gotten. And I, given the evolution that my work has taken, I can see myself going in what I would consider the right direction. I think that, it's a matter of really just putting stuff out there that I am encouraged to create for like-minded people.
Because you and I essentially networked this weekend. Like, because even if we didn't do all those sales, we met people that we'll likely see again next year and will likely communicate with on social media going forward.
And hopefully see at other shows. Hopefully. I mean, that's a beautiful thing,
Part of me kind of, I this occurred to me right before we left. I was thinking how back to in the Two-Fisted Law days, Kyle and Jim always used to get up on the mic and would always say, because of, supporting the community, would be like, listen, if you go and buy the other band's merch, we'll give you some of ours. That was always a big thing. It's if you go and put gas in their tanks and, because we're just trying to get to the next show, we'll give you some of ours. And I know that's not exactly a plausible thing for what you're doing, but I'm just like,
no,
that's the right idea though, because there were definitely other artists there that are just trying to get to the next gig.
Well, I think it hit me, a few years ago that a lot of my artwork that I've sold especially at these shows, probably the majority of the pieces that I've sold at all of them 10 years from 2015 until now, they've been bought by people who work in other tattoo shops. I mean, you know, just in this area alone, my work is hanging in Coat of Arms. It's hanging in Danbury Tattoo. You know, like there are other shops around the Hudson Valley where I know people have bought my work because they wanted to put it up in a shop somewhere. And it's just sort of like, it's like, you know, oh, well, that's just decor for it's like, who, and it's like, are you kidding me? I'm creating tattoo inspired artwork that a tattoo artist wants to hang up in a tattoo shop. Why would I be upset about that?
I didn't even realize that was a thing until maybe like probably 2017-ish. I went to go hang out with Brent. I don't remember what shop he was in at the time, but we were just shooting the shit. And one of the other tattoo artists that were working there was working on a giant canvas piece. And I'm just like, wow. Like, as opposed to like doing a tattoo on a person, he's in the shop, you know, making up something to hang in the shop.
You know, I mean, people have been asking me for years, you know, you're like, get tattooed. What happens when you run out of space? And I'm like, well, then I put it on the wall.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, I didn't realize that tattoo artists were also as big into creating art pieces as opposed to just doing the tattooing.
Not everyone is. I mean,
I've known a lot of them.
We've got that piece upstairs in the bedroom, my Alice in Wonderland print. It's not a print. Yeah. That's hand painted. From a tattoo artist that I got at this convention in 2018 was when I got it, because I saw that he painted it, and I told him I remember it was Friday night, and I walked over to him and I gave him a hug and I said, this one is mine. You do not sell this.
Yeah, just like the deck last year.
Yeah, I'm like, this is mine. Here is your money. This belongs to me now. I'm like, period. And I brought that home, and it is one of my favorite paintings ever. And I'm proud that it's, you know, that it was by a tattoo artist.
See, you guys have you painters and artists have the patience that I will never fathom, because I am the Bob Ross painter. Okay. Yeah. I have to complete it in 30 minutes or less, because I can't sit there for hours and weeks and months working on things. I just don't. No.
I love seeing a piece that, like, I love seeing it I love seeing it come to fruition. I mean, that's probably, you know, a trite thing to say, you know, oh, I'm an artist, I love seeing a piece come to life, but it's, you know, it's true. It's true, because I will have an idea, and the very idea that that I can create it, that it goes from my brain to my hand to a painted piece is just amazing to me. I'm like, holy shit, look what I did.
My realm for that is guitar work. Like, I love when I'm, you know, doing a setup or swapping out pickups, and everything comes together and everything gets put back in its place and it becomes a playable instrument.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm a very, very impatient person. So it's like, especially the tediousness of some, but I mean, you know, to a degree, there are aspects of it where it's like, certain aspects I look forward to the tediousness, to the, you know, the nuts and bolts and the tinkering and.
Well, you talk about tedious. You've seen me work.
I have.
I work with paintbrushes the size of toothpicks.
Yes.
So when people are like, "How is this?"
I've gone on Michael's trips for you.
I'm like, this literally. I mean, the fact that I'm not blind at this point is kind of amazing. But to see, like, I'm sure that people out there will understand. It might be a select few people, but people out there will understand when you can get a line even, like just even, and it's like, and it's just it's such a glorious feeling.
You know, it's really funny. This
feeling.
Episode will be playing on the table at next year's convention.
Yes, it will. Hi. It's just so it's
only 11 months away.
Maybe.
Or no, probably closer to 12.
We'll see. But it, you know, I mean, I don't even know if there was a point to all of this. We were just sort of talking.
No, this is just the recap.
Yeah, we're just talking.
We did this last. This is going to be a yearly tradition.
Year, yeah, and this was just, you know.
And then we followed it up with a celebrity episode. We're just like, oh, let's talk about, you know, meeting celebrities.
I think that my real itch that gets scratched in these situations is.
Which situation are we talking about?
This creative world.
Oh.
Okay. Being a part of this creative community. The itch for me that really gets scratched at these events is really feeling like all of the effort that I put in to create something that I want to see created to have that appreciated by anybody. Like Theo Rossi walked past us at the beginning of on Friday afternoon and was just like, nice decks. And I was just like,
juice.
I'm like, thanks. And I'm just like,
and then you made some joke about him and Marilyn Manson at his expense.
Yeah, because as he was leaving to go to catering, they started playing
Marilyn Manson.
They started playing Sweet Dreams, and I was just like, oh, do you think he's okay? I'm like, maybe he had to leave.
Yeah.
Poor man.
I talked to so many people this weekend who were just like, I've never watched Sons. I'm like, you've never even seen Sons? Like, I've watched it twice now.
Yeah, same. I've watched twice, at least twice, maybe 2.5 times.
And the funny thing is, like, I really wanted to go talk to Emilio Rivera, but I'm just like, the only thing I could think to say to him was like, dude, I love the way you play Alvarez. Like, you play him like a total badass.
I loved seeing him just walking around, like, laughing and smiling the whole time. And I'm just like, oh my God. I'm like, look, he smiled.
He and we locked eyes every time he walked by and did a head, like a tilted, like a nod. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's all it took.
That's all you need.
Like, he and I have an understanding now.
No, it was great, you know, and I mean that's just it. Is you have these, you know, this show in particular has been fantastic in the last couple.
Oh, and
years.
Shout out to Dominic.
Happy birthday!
So this huge hulking dude with a fanny pack around his shoulder, I thought was Bam's like private security. So remember him from last year, and I walk up to him. I'm like, "Can I ask your name? Because I remember you from last year." I'm just like, "It's nice to meet you. You know, I'm Andrew," and we'll just say it was his birthday Sunday.
It was his birthday,
and they got on the mic telling him to buy. I won't say anything else, you know. But he was a big guy, strong guy, and he was hitting on Bai Ling for a little bit. And
well, who wouldn't?
Yeah. I didn't have it in me to go because I'm like, what am I gonna say? Like, you were a great villain in The Crow. Like,
why not?
I
told Christine Elise that my dog would recognize her anywhere because she watches 90210 with me. Okay. She was there because she was in Child's Play. I did not know that. She's Emily Valentine. I'm like, we'd know you anywhere, ma'am.
See, so as much as I feel like I don't want to be a bother to these people, even though that's what they're there for, like, it's not like I refrain from approaching all of, like, the ones that I really wanted to talk to.
Yeah.
You know, I approached.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll do it again next year.
Yeah.
You know, but again, because the thing is, in my mind, there's people there that really, really want to meet these people and express what they mean to them. And it's just like, I don't want to I don't want to be, you know, in the way of that.
I did that last year.
Yeah.
I did that to Kathy Najimy last year. And I was just like, because she was just sitting there, and Sadie and I walked right up to her, and I was just like, I have to tell you how much I love you. And I'm like, you are just, I'm like, I've been watching you in things for 30 years, and you're such a beautiful person, you know, and you do so much, you know, you get, I feel like you'll never get enough credit for being a genius at what you do and everything. And then off, you know, out of character, everything that this woman has done, you know, for women and for, you know, fringe communities and stuff like that, because she's so outspoken about everything that she believes in. And I'm just like, she's just such a lovely person. And I'm just like, and she's Peggy Hill. Oh yeah.
Like, if not that he ever would, but like, if Bam were to ever hear this, like, the thought that was
you never know.
In my mind the entire weekend,
this weekend
was me wanting to say to him, like, you have been making me laugh for almost 30 years.
Yeah.
Like, can I fucking buy you dinner or something? Like, just to say that, because, like, that's just it. He has been making me laugh for 30 years. Yeah. And again, I'm nobody to him, but I still, like, would like to return the favor.
He remembered the dog.
Yeah. He
did. If he didn't remember anything else, he remembered the dog. They both did. He and Danny both did. I'm just like, that's precious to me. That means the world to me. And I know she's into it too, because he's got them big scratchy meat hooks that she likes.
Yeah. My greatest success of this weekend, though, was working up the nerve to talk to the talent agency.
Yeah. And you did.
Because that's something that I should be doing more of. It's just like, I know what I want in the art world, and that's the path I have to go on to get that started.
Well, you know, I mean, again, you and I You and I did.
And they were very nice and very very
yeah.
receptive. Like we exchanged contact info and everything.
You and I did some really good networking, and we made some money. And
Well, you made some money.
Well, I made some money, but the best part is we had a good time.
You got some shoes.
Stay tuned for that because there's gonna probably we may do a whole
don't tell me we're doing an entire episode.
We may do a whole episode about this. Your gift is still in the works, and as sad as I am that it might not come here until Christmas,
it's fine.
It's coming.
It's fine. I got my gift already.
Oh, but
I'm
yeah,
looking at it.
I am. I'm excited for the next show. I'm excited to do this one next year. I'm excited to see everybody.
I'm excited for when I can quit my job so we can do this all the time.
Working on it. Working on it.
Oh, I told them today. I was like, dude, I'm already planning my exit strategy.
We're like, listen, we're on our way.
For your next craft, and I'm like, no. So when I can leave this place entirely, like
we are on our way.
That is endgame.
We're on our way, baby. It's gonna be good.
Because in my mind, it's just like if there's all these other people that get to do this sort of shit full time and that's their career, like why the hell can't we?
Well,
it's not something you're born into. Like they created their status. Like
and we're working on it. Yeah. You know, we just didn't get started when we were 20.
Oh, we did.
We're coming into it a little late, or we're just late bloomers. That's all. And as
just bloomed late.
TV shows us that there's nothing wrong with being a late bloomer. Well, I had a good time. Did you have a good time?
I had an excellent time. Yeah. I'm downtown Andy. I always have a good time.
Damn right. And thank you out there in podcast land for tuning in. And we'll be back with our regularly scheduled program next week. Oh God, what?
Well, because as downtown Andy, I was repping the podcast wearing the shirt on, what was it, Saturday?
Yeah.
So God only knows how many people QR'd the back of my shirt. Yeah.
Ooh.
As I was walking away.
Well, I mean, everyone likes to watch you walk
And let's
away.
just give an extra special fuck you to whoever it was that decided to lock the bathroom stalls and then crawl out under the floor.
Yeah, no, a big middle finger to you. I'm telling you, by the close of business Saturday, 5 stalls in the ladies' room were locked from the inside.
And a big
fuck you.
The unsung heroes of this entire weekend, the staff of the convention center.
Yeah.
Those guys,
they were great.
Gave us everything we needed exactly when we needed it.
They were great.
You know, I was like, I'll see you guys next year.
Yeah. No, props to the maintenance staff at the Westchester County Center. Thank you to Addicted to Ink and the Blood and Ink Tattoo and Horror
and
Convention.
Joe and Gian.
Yes, everybody.
And Chris.
Thank you. And again, thank you out there in podcast land for tuning in. You've got something coming up.
October 24th.
October 24th.
Dead Language Brewing in Hartford, Connecticut. We are doing another Cabo wrestling show.
Tax Collectors and Harlots.
It's going to be us, some other bands, some wrestling, some beer.
I'll be there in my shoes.
Yeah?
Yeah. And that in October 25th, Saturday.
That's right.
Coat of Arms Tattoo is doing their second annual Halloween Flash event. There's going to be a full band
with the Strangers.
Somehow, I'm getting maybe in the parking lot. I don't know, but
they'll find a way.
That's going to be fucking fun. But it's going to be all day Flash event. Come one, come all. Follow Coat of Arms Tattoo and Tax Collectors and Harlots. Find Love Hard Art. Find us, DT Andy and JJ Star, and with 2 R's. 2 R's. And
that's a story for another day.
Send us an email if you have questions, comments, or concerns for our well-being, perhaps conversation starters or conversation enders at dtandyandjjstar@gmail.com.
I think this convention next year, we get on the panel list and we do a That Talking Podcast panel.
Or... yeah, we could do that. Or I was thinking, like, what if we did it like a stand-up kind of a thing? And we just get up there and we talk to each other for 15 minutes and see who agrees with us.
Well, because if they advertise it on the bill, somebody's going to be like, "What the hell is that?"
Yeah,
and they'll venture upstairs and be like, "Oh."
We'll have to talk about that. We'll have to see about that. Mm-hmm. I mean, John knows. I'm like, we're in 40 some odd countries worldwide, and his jaw just dropped. And I'm just like, no, for real. I'm like, no, we're worldwide.
Yeah.
Oh, but thank you. And
he might be on the because we were talking about.
Yeah, maybe we'll put him on the podcast.
Yeah, he's like because we told him about how when we had Giovanni, and he's just like, wait, what? Really? I know that guy.
I'll just send him a link to that episode. So that's it.
That's it.
That's it for now from the three of us at That Talking Podcast. I'm JJ Star.
And I'm Downtown Andy.
We'll talk to you later.